Utah Capitol Journal 2012, brought to you by Comcast and the Utah Cable Television Association.
Comcast Cares Day was a huge success. Comcast would like to thank the more than 3,100 employees, families, and community volunteers who gave of their time to enhance 11 elementary schools, city parks, and other organizations across the Wasatch Front to help kids and community members power their dreams. With your support, we made a lasting difference for thousands of students and community members in need. Thank you, and special thanks to our partner, KFC, for providing lunch.
Comcast Cares.
Hello, I'm Dale Zabriskie. Welcome to Capitol Journal, appearing 24 minutes after each hour on CNN Headline News and on Comcast On Demand throughout the legislative session. Our guest for this segment is Representative Brian Doughty. Representative Doughty, thank you for being with us. You introduced a bill this session dealing with the relationship of the legislature and local government. Tell us about that.
Yes, it's HB 181, which would require, if we as a legislative body repeal or amended an existing city, county, or political subdivision ordinance, would require a 2/3 vote of the House and Senate.
Rather than a simple majority.
Exactly.
And why do you think that's important to have that happen?
Well, you know, we do, I'll concede that we do create the political subdivisions, but in doing so, we allow them to create their own legislative bodies, and those bodies are elected by their constituents, and ordinances are passed based on their local values. And so if we, as a legislative body, as a state, are going to come in and repeal or amend those ordinances, I think there should be a higher threshold for that to happen. And
what has happened to your bill?
It is in rules and sitting in rules, and will probably die a slow death in rules.
So is this something you're going to bring up again next year, or is this a long-term battle you want to fight? Or
I think it's a discussion worth having, so I may look at bringing it back next year if I have the opportunity to serve again.
It's interesting, the relationship between the federal government and state government and opposition to mandates and intrusion, and then you have the state doing the same thing to... Exactly,
and I brought that point up in one of the committee meetings, and I was given a lesson on federalism by one of my colleagues that we created the federal government as a state, and as states we also created the political subdivisions within our state. So, I'll concede that point, but it's really having the state override what the city and counties have chosen to ordinances they have had in place that reflect their values is just overreaching.
Now, this is your freshman session with the legislature.
Correct.
How have you found it to be a member of the legislature?
It's been exciting, but also frustrating at times. So,
what was the most surprising thing about being a member of the legislature to you?
I should have known this coming in, but just we'll debate one issue and they'll make a point as, for instance, the love of free market, and then 5 bills down the reading calendar we'll debate something and we'll oppose what we just said, 30 minutes ago. So that's frustrating.
And this is an election year. Can we expect to see you come back next session?
Well, I plan to run, so we'll see if the voters wish me to be here. I'll certainly be here.
Do you look forward to any other bills that you're carrying that for this session you'd like to talk about?
It's quickly HB 193, which probably will be debated on the floor today, which we talked about last time, is requiring part of the Liquor Commission to be consumers of alcohol.
Right.
And so we'll have that debate and see what the body thinks about that.
Representative Doughty, thank you for being with us and explaining your bills to us.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for being with us. Please join us again for Capitol Journal, appearing 24 minutes after each hour on CNN Headline News and on Comcast On Demand throughout the legislative session. You can also find us on Facebook.